Wednesday, June 10th, and you're watching the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our good friends over at FanDuel. I'm your host for today, Jason Cooper, alongside my producer for the next hour and a bit, Mike Bennett, working his way behind the boards. And we got a loaded show for you today. Coming off a 2-hour show, we got Rob Pizzola coming on, talking some NHL and some World Cup. There's a bunch of novelty props out there that if you're in Canada, I mean, this is like Fosen level picking money off the ground, and you only have to risk $25 to do so. It's pretty simple. I found an absolute lock if you're a Canadian, if you're living in Ontario. I'll talk about that with Rob and a bunch of other stuff in the NHL. There's bunch to talk about, especially in the awards markets, the Conn Smythe market. I'm excited to get my hands dirty with Rob. After that, we got Kirk coming on. We're going to talk some Game 4, NBA Finals, some WNBA action, the Commissioner's Cup, how much he's paying attention to that, or if he's all in on the NBA. Every time Kirk comes on, I never really know where his head's going to be at. Sometimes he only wants to talk specifically about WNBA. And then other times, like last time when he comes on the show, he like waxed poetic for the 30 minutes talking about the NBA Finals. Now, was he very wrong? Yes. But he kept yapping and yapping about those Spurs. We'll see if he still feels the same way about the Spurs when he comes on to today's show. All right. Let's get into things. I'm going to bring on Rob in a couple minutes here. Before we do that, though, I love working here. It's fantastic. Rob's great. Mike's great. George is great. Alex is great. But I'm so annoyed with Jacob. The audacity of this guy on Twitter. Did you see what he did last night? Did you guys see? Do you follow Jacob on Twitter? Because I saw. He went to the Jays game. He listed himself minus 500 to do the 999. No. Minus 500? I am definitely taking the no on that. I don't have the update on if he did it last night. But is that not the most audacious number at the 9x9 challenge you've ever heard of? Plus, he's having Guinnesses before. Minus 900 is absolutely insane. Chad, I need you to back me up on this here. There is no way that Jacob could finish the 9x9. He's taller than me. He's more active than me. He's done a great job running every day. He's like, he's very physically fit. But I still think I could crush him in the 999 challenge. I think I would beat him. He does not have the ability to drink like me. He doesn't have the mental fortitude to eat 9 hot dogs like I do. So minus 500 for Jacob to go to 999, that's insane. I would love to take the no on that. So, yeah. Chad, I need you to back me up here on this. Do you think Jacob has a chance? The 9x9 by 9? 9x9 by 9? Am I saying that right? Yeah, the 9x9. The 9 hot dogs, 9 beers, 9 innings. That challenge. Jacob minus. Here's the problem, George. I'm finishing. What happens if we both finish? The plus 160 is a lock. It's a win or a push. I'm finishing it. I'll tell you that much. So, yeah, that's the only thing that bothered me last night on Twitter. I don't know if you saw anything else, but maybe we can get into that with our next guest. All right. Whew. Sorry, I just need a second here to breathe and let this one sort of let the steam boil off me a little bit here. The 9 beer. Okay, wait, hold on. Time out. Connor, I promise you, 9 beers is not the hardest part. I did it with Jeff last year. Jeff, I was doing it. I was in the process of doing it. The beers were easy. The after the 5th hot dog, they taste like cardboard. No matter how much ketchup, mustard, relish, barbecue sauce, onions, pickle, whatever you put on, they taste like cardboard. They're garbage. The beers are like the best part. It's like your reward after you eat it. So that's the tricky part about the 9x9. It's not the beers. It's the hot dogs. Listen, you're going to be drunk regardless. You're going to be hammered. It is what it is. Drink responsibly, bet responsibly, all that kind of stuff. But the hot dogs, gross. Anyways, I would crush Jacob, and then I would have finished the 9x9. But anyways, this is for me to get into with Jeff. Jeff made me leave the game early. He brought me to the game. How can I just stick around without him? It was a whole debacle. Let's get into today's show. Enough of this. I'm off track. All right. I talked about some novelty props that are available to Canadians. Well, USA fans, this one here is for you. FanDuel is dropping a massive USA Super Boost for the matchup against Paraguay. Right now, all customers can win up to $25 if the USA has 1+ shot. Yes, that is not a typo. Just 1 shot gets it done. That's one of our biggest boosts yet, and all you need is 1 moment from the USA to cash in. So whether it comes early or late, from outside the box or right in front of the goal, every attack is going to feel a little bit bigger. FanDuel wants me to talk about this match against Paraguay, USA. Here's the problem here. You Americans, you guys stink. You're going to lose this game. That's all I can tell you. That's all I know about this one. I am fading the U.S. throughout this entire tournament if they can even make it out of the group stage. Back the U.S. and get in on this huge super boost before kickoff. Visit FanDuel.com/forward-progress to get started. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas affiliates, Kansas Star Casino, 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Must wager on designated offer market. Max wager $25. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/China, Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelpline.org or call 1-800-327-5050 in Massachusetts. Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY in New York. Call 1-877-770-7867 in Louisiana. All right. I have to read whenever I read the ad read, I'm missing out on the chat. Dunk the dog in the beer. That is psychotic. That is psychotic. Holy smokes! All right. Let's get into. Let's bring on our first guest here. He's the CEO of the Hammer Betting Network, and I had him written down. He's the biggest Carolina fan north of the border, but apparently not based on the hat that he is wearing. Rob, are you doing this just to troll me? What's going on here?
Well, I mean, I came into the office on Monday, and you told me that the Stanley Cup was over. That Vegas has won. It's done. So I'm just wearing the hat of the Stanley Cup winner right now, according to you, Jason.
It is over. It is done. But I didn't realize that they were going to go get. The Bussy was going to start. It's just like it was Bussy time, and gave Carolina a 1-game bump. After that, it's over. They're finished. It's over. They're finished. One thing I noticed about this series. Carolina's really good at mitigating shots, but one thing they're really bad at is mitigating wide open shots in front. Like when they give up the shots, they're usually wide open in front of the net.
Carolina loves to give Vegas a breakaway on every power play.
That too.
I don't know what it is, but these passes at the blue line, it's like Vegas anticipates them. I don't know. Listen, it's been a pretty even Stanley Cup Finals. I could say it's pretty evenly matched teams. If looking forward to game 5, 6, and 7. I'm not sure that the venue really matters all that much right now necessarily. And it's like, I'm not blindly advocating for doing this, but let's just say I wasn't running a model on these games and pricing them individually. It would feel like dog or nothing in every single one of these games. It's almost like you price it like it's closer to a coin flip than the line suggests. But I'm still rooting for Carolina here, despite the Vegas hat. Of course, I'm just wearing this to show face and, potentially post a clip later on when Vegas wins the cup saying, hey, you know what? I was on the Vegas train as well, trying to cover all angles here, Jason.
Good. Yeah. And we got, listen, maybe I went a little early here, but I got a Marner jersey for you coming in the mail for when he lifts that Conn Smythe trophy, then lifts the Stanley Cup.
1 second on that. I just really quickly. So Marner's still minus 115 FanDuel to win the Conn Smythe.
Yeah. Versus the field. Yeah.
I thought it was very, very likely that even if Carolina won, that Marner would still win the Conn Smythe. I no longer believe that.
Interesting. Okay, I want to get into this because there is some markets out there that I wanted to talk to you about. Let's just get this out of the way then. Because that exact scenario, Marner to win the Stanley Cup and Marner to win the Conn Smythe and Hurricanes to win the Stanley Cup is 13-1 right now on FanDuel, which to me feels like a really good price in terms of where Marner is to win the Conn Smythe and where the Hurricanes are to win the Stanley Cup. I really don't know who set themselves apart for the Hurricanes. Could it be Taylor Hall? Is it Logan Stankoven? I don't think it's Jordan Staal who's creeped up. He's plus 600 right now to win the Conn Smythe. What's your read on this?
So I'm looking at FanDuel now, and Jordan Staal is 12-1. And look, so we got to talk about scenarios here, right? So I think the scenario where Carolina wins in 6, if they win the next 2 games, is going to work against Marner in a big way. Because there's going to leave a real sour taste in their mouth if Vegas loses 3 straight to lose the cup, in my opinion. I feel like in that scenario, there's a pretty decent shot it's going to go to a Carolina player. Jordan Staal, I mean, if he scores in additional games here, he's kind of going to get the Lifetime Achievement Award. You know what I'm getting at?
Yes. Yeah.
It's just it's a recency bias. Everyone's going to be well, it's the Stanley Cup. It's the biggest games. These were really close. He came through in the clutch in every single one of those games. I do think it's a realistic possibility. Now, is 12-1 valuable? I think he was sitting at 75-1 yesterday. I kind of screened maybe even further than that at FanDuel. But, I don't think it's a foregone conclusion anymore. Marner minus 115. That's over 50%. There's way more scenarios now where I think that he doesn't get it if Carolina just rattles off a few wins in a row here.
Yeah, the problem with that's a great point, but just with how my understanding of the award works, and I probably should have done a little bit more research on this before coming on air and just typing it away as you're talking about it here. But it's a 5-3-1 system, and there's 18 voters. If Carolina wins the cup, Marner is locked in on the second place ballot on every. If he's not first, he's second on every single one. Right, so now you have to crunch the numbers on if there's going to be enough voters who will line up on the first place ballot.
I will push back on that. I tend to agree with you. I think smart, savvy hockey fans, there's no way they're not going to have Marner in the top 3 votes. He's going to get points no matter what. I do think that there is at least a small contingent of people that will not vote for the losing team, a losing team player no matter what. We've seen this in the past too, where players in the past that have had really good playoffs lose in the cup and they don't even get votes purely because they're not on the winning team. And there's this mentality that how am I going to give you a vote for the most valuable player in the playoffs when you didn't even win the Stanley Cup type of scenario. It's tough. And it's reaction. It's game by game the numbers are changing drastically with each passing game. But there is a scenario right now because Carolina won game 4 where they just rattle off 2 more wins. And now all of a sudden it's not like this was this really tight series is kind of like Vegas choked it away type of situation. I can see that scenario.
So the thing the more we talk about it, the more I want to click that 13-1 Conn Smythe, Marner to win Conn Smythe and Hurricanes to win the Stanley Cup. Because in that scenario, I think it's a good price. It's just feels hard. But for you obviously don't agree with me. You disagree with me. How would you attack the Conn Smythe market? Then wouldn't it be FanDuel offering the field on the Conn Smythe where you can bet Marner at minus 115 or the field at minus 111? Is there a certain player who you think is showing value right now? Is it Jordan Staal, like you mentioned, at 12-1? I don't know. I don't know if you want to go deeper down the board than that.
I don't think anyone deeper down the board can win. There's not enough games left, right?
Yeah.
Ehlers, Aho, Gostisbehere, Svechnikov, Jarvis, there's just not enough games left for those guys to win. Even if one of those guys scored a hat trick to win the Stanley Cup final, they're not going to win the Conn Smythe. So you're really down to, in my opinion, 4 players, and Jackson Blake would be an extreme stretch as well. Marner's most likely to win, for sure. He should be the favorite. Whether or not he should be over 50%, I don't know about that. Jordan Staal would be the guy. If you said, Rob, I'm giving you $100 to bet right now, and you got to throw it down on someone on Conn Smythe, I would bet Jordan Staal at 12-1. All
right, Jordan Staal at 12-1. That's your forced pick here. I want to talk to you about Brandon Bussi because I saw a bunch of people in the Discord mentioning him to win the Conn Smythe, and I feel like this was before game 4, and I understood that he would have to rattle off shutouts basically, and then maybe he would have a chance. But I'm more so curious about what Carolina is going to do with this Bussi Anderson situation. Is it now Bussi for till the end of the series? Is there a realistic chance that Frederik Andersen could come back? Rob Brendamore said this morning that Freddie needed a rest. I mean, the 2 weeks or whatever, week and a half they had between the Eastern Conference Finals and the Stanley Cup Finals wasn't enough of rest. What are we doing here, Rob? Right. Do you think Freddie has a chance to start another game for this team?
I feel I saw the quote. I feel like it was almost like them saying he needed a mental break. He's just been prepping for all these games. He's going through a lot. We're not going to dress him. We're not going to have him worry about this game. My guess would be Bussi starts game 5 with Anderson dressed as the backup this time. He'll be back there in case he's needed. Honestly, I don't think Bussi played an amazing game or anything like that yesterday. He made some big saves.
At the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, certainly in the early going, he made a few big ones. But it's not like he stood on his head, where it's his crease going forward. But he did win the game. And hockey's very traditional. It's very old school. You win, you play. I think that's what Carolina would do. And Anderson ends up backing him up at that point. So I don't know, though. Honestly, it's really up in the air. It would not shock me, Jason, if Anderson started the next game after not dressing. Like it could just be part of the plan. Give him a day off, let him relax or whatever, get his head back straight. I don't know, but I would just I think the way more likely scenario is Bussy starts, Anderson backs up.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there in Bussy starting. I think Bussy just started playing out the rest of the series unless we see like a crazy amount of injuries towards the goalie. Jason repeating Bussy is throwing me off. George, relax. Get your head out of the freaking gutter here.
I'll say if Vegas scores a couple early, I think they'll yank Bussy very quickly for Anderson. I do. Right. I think now they realize they got two goalies. Neither of them is great. You just got to ride like the hot hand, and certainly not Anderson right now. But if Bussy goes cold, they'll go back to Anderson.
All right, I think that makes a lot of sense here. I want to flip over and talk a little bit about the Cup handoff market, which is available on FanDuel. I mentioned early, at the beginning of the series, I said I think the Hurricanes were like minus 150, 160-ish to win the Cup. And I was like, well, you can get them for plus 340 very easily if you just bet on Jacob Slavin to get the to receive the Cup first in the Cup handoff. He's still plus 340. Do you think you came in here and said that is actually a pretty good bet? Do you still think that is a good bet?
Yeah, I bet a little bit. I actually bet 340 and it's now 310 at FanDuel. I do think it's a good bet. I do. Just probabilistically speaking, you have to account for, Carolina winning the series. They're now minus 152 at FanDuel. You devig the line. They're probably minus 140. He's really, really likely to get it for them. He's just been with them for so long, a veteran presence. I understand that some people might think Taylor Hall because he's been in the league forever. That's a possibility that would scare me. But outside of that, for Carolina, who are your options? I mean, previously I would have said Anderson, Frederick Anderson. But now I don't think if he's not in net for the Cup clinching game, he's not going to be the first one to get the Cup handoff, right? So I'm with you. I think Slavin was a really good bet. Honestly, plus 250 or higher, I think Slavin's good. I think I agree with you there. You could also get honestly, shut up FanDuel. I just noticed they added this market, the Stanley Cup handoff exact order 1-2. That's a dream. I'm looking
crazy.
at that right now.
Also bet. Wait, I didn't even realize this. For the exact order, the bet is void if corresponding team does not win the Stanley Cup. So you can get Slavin Hall at plus 450 as the 1-2, which I think is the most likely 1-2 plus 450. And if they lose, that's incredible. Holy smokes! All right.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Slavin Hall is a good, and honestly, maybe vice versa. Those are going to be the two guys to get the Cup, right? Yeah, I would think those are the first two guys. That's just very historical hockey. It's veteran presence, been around for a long time, haven't won. What's Hall Slavin?
Hall Slavin is 800. The problem is though, Rob, both of these are going to push because Vegas is winning.
Well, they're not going to push them. They're going to lose.
No. It's void if the respective team doesn't win.
Is that what the terms are?
That's what it says.
Oh man.
That's only I don't know if that's true for the initial handoff. But it says bets void if corresponding team does not win the Stanley Cup.
It's there with the big eye and the circle around it. Bets void if corresponding team. So those are good. Those are both solid.
Incredible, yeah. All right. Yeah. All right, there we go. We found some good value live here on the show. Let's talk through Game 5. If there's anything really left to talk through here, you mentioned it's sort of like a dog or pass scenario for you. Are you betting on the Golden Knights in this game? Do you have any props for us here, or is this just you have your bets from pre-flop and you're just going to kind of let it ride and enjoy?
That's kind of what I'm doing. Nor would I ever bet Carolina minus 152 in this game based off of what I've seen in the series so far. It would be Golden Knights or nothing because of, building up futures over the course of the playoffs. Everyone kind of does this in their own way where they're rooting for different teams. I'm just riding the Carolina futures at this point, and I'm not going to be managing it from game to game or adding more on Carolina, betting Vegas to mitigate some risk. I am, I don't want to say all in on Carolina, but I'm rooting for the Hurricanes here, and for Game 5, I won't be betting anything.
All right. Let's just enjoy a fun Game 5 because I know your biggest sweat is whatever we can figure out for this bet that we have. Chad is saying Martinook after Slavin. I don't know about that one.
I don't think so either.
Because Hall's just had such an extraordinary playoffs, and he has the veteran bump, whatever we want to call it.
Listen, it's all possible. I don't want to speak in certainty here, but I think it's very likely that the first two players will be Slavin and Hall. That would be my my best guess. And yeah, that's it.
All right. Charles asking, can you ask Rob if he will institute a Mike Babcock philosophy and go through your phone?
Your phone?
My phone, yeah.
I don't want to see the shit that's on your phone. Okay. There's no chance I want to see what I prefer knowing you as you. Like, I don't want to see what's in the closet or anything like that. I don't want that. I mean, you already rattled me hard enough off the like you versus Jacob, even money on the 999. It would be 100% of my bankroll on you won't find a better bet in life than Jacob, either to outdrink you, to out eat you, to do anything in that type of the 9-9. I guess maybe you might watch more baseball than him. You would win the 9 innings challenge. Okay. Who can sit in a seat and watch more baseball? That's the one you should be betting on yourself. Okay. If it's beers or hot dogs, you're getting clowned by Jacob.
Okay, let's play this out here. This can't settle as a tie. So what happens if we both eat 9 beers? Sorry, both drink 9 beers, eat 9 hot dogs in 9 innings. Like, do we just go like playoff and just set a timer and whoever can muck more hot dogs and beers in that?
No, you shake your hands. It ends in a draw. You both go shit your pants for the next 3 hours from all those hot dogs and beers, and that's it.
Oh, God. It's actually the opposite that happens because there's not a lot of fiber in the hot dog or beer. You're stuck for... It's
a bad combo. I will say, like, you will do it. You have, like, the will to not... You don't want to be embarrassed.
Correct.
Like, for me, I'll always try things, but, like, it's not going my way, I'm not going to push it. You will push it. Like, you're the guy. You remember the like, it's a bad video, but the guy that's like sitting asleep in his chair with his hand over his mouth, just like yakking at the baseball game. Like, I could see that being you. Because you just push you push it because you don't want the negative repercussions of not doing it. That's you. Jacob should have to do an 18, 18, 18. 999 is way too easy for him. 18, 18, 9 is what we need for Jacob.
I think I'll smoke him. But anyways, this is where we have to agree to disagree. Connor's taking me at the +4.5. I like that. Connor backing me up in the chat.
Not that these need to be shared on air, but off air one day, Jason, ask Jacob about some of his college hazing part when he was hazed in college, and you will understand the amount that this human being can drink, and you have no hope. Zero. I've been out with Jacob. It takes like 6 beers for him to get buzzed. Like, he is a machine. I don't know about the hot dogs, honestly. I've never seen him smash, but he's...
Here's the thing. A lot of people won't know this. This is the inside baseball. I lived on Aberdeen. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. All right? So,
all right, sure.
Sure. All right, let's flip over and talk some World Cup, some calcio, as the Italians would call it. I don't know if the Italians are calling it anything because they are out of the World Cup here.
Yeah, they're just gardening while they're pretending it doesn't exist.
Okay, so
they're growing the tomatoes in the backyard.
I got a lot of flack from Ian saying I don't really have like a real supporting interest in this World Cup. Obviously, I want Canada to go far, but I know they're not making it past the round of 16. There's like a 0% chance they're making it past the round of 16. So
that's not true.
Okay. Very low likelihood.
Yeah, listen, I get it. The expectation it's hard to be super excited when the expectations are low. I get it, but Canada's a good rooting interest to have. And then you fire off some bets on top of it, and you get some real rooting interests outside of Canada.
Yeah, that's the angle I'm going for here. And I fired off a couple things. I like Morocco to go far, like I talked about on the show yesterday. I have France to win the tournament. Erling Haaland, I want the Norway to go far so he can win the Golden Boot for me. Have you bet anything pre-flop here in the tournament with it only being 2 days away, futures-wise, or do you have any like match bets that you've made so far?
Yeah, so I'm betting stuff. Now, let me be clear. I make my living from betting, but it's not from soccer betting. All right, this is a tournament that I'm going to bet and I'm going to enjoy, and I'll have every game on, and I'm going to go nuts with it. That's just what I do. I don't like to go in, like, I don't have strong soccer opinions. I went and I took the ELO rankings of every team that's in the World Cup. All right, like the national ELO rankings. And I ran a Monte Carlo simulation based off of those ELO rankings. Okay. Now there's a lot of problems with doing that. I know some people push back and be like, you can't use ELO for soccer. I understand why. The games are lower scoring. I had to make some adjustments so that you don't have to just be betting every single favorite in the tournament. Right. But I like to just like pretend like I'm doing something that has value. You know what I'm getting at? Like, rather than just throwing darts, let's throw some, like educated darts that are still not going to win. But at least I can blame someone other than myself. All right. But what I did beforehand is I kind of wrote down bets that I like. And then I looked at the simulation results and I'm like, okay, let me bet where I line up on these. Okay. And first and foremost, I don't want to be this guy. I hate being this guy. But I'd like Spain to win the tournament going in. And I'm just going to bet Spain. They're the favorite to win the tournament. I like Spain. I think they're the deepest. I think that the way that the group stage sets up for them, so Lamine Yamal will be back for them, but they don't have to rush him back because their first group stage games are an absolute joke, right? It's not till, I think, the third game that they play Uruguay. Am I correct? I got to double check that. Yeah, they play Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and then Uruguay in that order. So it's not like they have to push this guy. Are we going to get a better price on Spain at any other point in the tournament? I'm not sure that we are. So I ripped Spain to win outright the World Cup. It's very lame, I know, but you know what? That's what I think is going to happen. I fired some group bets. Group E, I took Ecuador plus 330. That's the group with Germany. Ecuador is like park the bus football, right? They're probably a little bit overrated because a lot of their games are played in altitude in qualifying, those South American games, and they have a pretty big home field. But they only lost 2 matches, was to Argentina and Brazil away. Other than that, they're very, very sound defensively. So when we're talking about winning the group, they're going to play a game against Germany where they could frustrate Germany into like a 0-0 draw. They can do that, and then everything else is kind of up in the air. So that was the group winner that I liked the most. I mean, I fired some other I took Iran 7-1 to win their group. I took Scotland at 10-1 to win their group. Those are like very small bets and more extreme. And then one last thing that I noticed. So FanDuel has, under the soccer section, World Cup, they list like a bunch of teams and the top team goal scorer for them, right? And Belgium's top team goal scorer, Romelu Lukaku, is favored. Romelu Lukaku has been dealing with injury for a long time. He's going to be back for the World Cup, but there's no guarantee that he's going to A, start the first game, or B, even play in the group stage at that point. So I think that there are some guys further down the list for Belgium. If you're looking for value, pick your poison, basically. But I think everywhere, FanDuel, other books, Romelu Lukaku is just way overpriced for Belgium. Considering, like, I don't know, what's the average number of games they play in this tournament? Probably something like 4.5 in and around there. He might start like 1 or 2 of those games, and he's favored to be their top team goal scorer. I don't buy that. And like when you look at the schedule as well, sorry, I might be freezing up here because I got a million tabs open. But like Egypt, Iran, New Zealand group stage, like if he doesn't play in those games and then he gets tougher opponents later on, as you got other options. So Charles de Ketelaere is the guy that I bet the most at FanDuel. He was like roughly 4-1. In some other spots, I bet Leandro Trossard as well. But I'm rooting against Lukaku to rack up goals for Belgium.
I like that look. Because we talked about this yesterday on the World Cup betting extravaganza. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you go check that out. Video posted yesterday here on the channel with Anthony DeBundo, just saying that like this might be the first World Cup with the heat and the amount of like the ease of the group stage for these high quality teams where we might see some like actual load management, guys just not playing in these group stages. And these group stages I think are most important for the top goal scorers because it's your easiest. It's your most likely chance to score goals after the group stage. You got tougher opponents. So I love that look of just sort of fading Lukaku.
It's a great point. Like not in previous World Cups, if you're like a superstar, you're playing all 3 group stage games unless you clinched the first 2 games. In which case you might get a rest in the third. But it might not be like that. And a lot of these teams have come to Toronto early, at least games in Toronto, and they're already complaining about the humidity and the heat and stuff like that. You know, some of the teams going to the U.S., same thing as well. I think that's a really good point. And, you know, as obviously, you know, it's not just group stage. You got to these count towards knockouts as well. You know, you got to account for that. But a team like Belgium, to me, is not, I'll call them like a fringe contender. I don't think that there's too many scenarios where they're going to make a super deep run in this tournament. I'm not saying that they can't, but that's why I like the Belgium one more than like, I don't know, what's another, like Spain or France, and picking a guy deeper down the board there in hopes that they rest their top guys because they're more likely to play more matches in the tournament.
Yeah, I was also looking at the top goal scorer market. If you go to USA top team goal scorer, I think this one might be really good. There's a guy named No USA goal scorer, 45 to 1. Pretty darn good.
You are going full heel. Yeah, I honestly don't know what to make of the US, man. I really have no idea.
The thing is, like, I say this like sort of tongue in cheek. Again, don't know much about soccer. Just the way that they've built their team, from what other people have said, from my understanding, is that, again, like very weak in the middle. So like promoting the ball is going to be an issue for them, I think.
Really, the only opinion that matters when it comes to U.S. soccer, because he's the GOAT U.S. soccer handicapper, is Uncle K, Joey Knish. He follows college football religiously, and he's in tune with everything U.S. soccer. So that I'll formulate my opinions based off of him. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like I'm throwing darts for this World Cup. I've gone through so many teams, just convincing myself. I got like teams to reach the round of 16. I got like really random bets on some teams. You know, it's getting absurd now.
Are you attending any World Cup games? Chat wants to know.
I don't have tickets for any yet. I may, though. I won't be there Friday. I won't be there for Canada and Bosnia. That's a guarantee, almost certainly a guarantee. But I don't know, honestly. I have no idea. The most likely game that I will attend for the World Cup will be the round of 32 knockout in Toronto, which we don't know who that will be yet.
Okay. Do we know which part of the bracket it's going to be, or is it just yeah, we do?
It's 2 second place teams.
Okay.
And I believe one of them would be from the England group.
Okay.
So it could be Croatia, potentially. It could be England, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I remember checking that a few weeks ago, and that's what I saw. But yeah, whatever. You know, I mean, there's you never know. Ghana, Panama, I think is one of the games, or
Ghana, Panama, Croatia, I don't know how we got stuck with 2 Panama games, but yeah, Ghana, Panama, Croatia, Panama. I'm looking at tickets right now. For 2 tickets, we can get in for 653 Canadian all in, which is about like 150 American. So
that won't be the tickets at kickoff for Ghana, Panama.
Be less.
Yeah, it's not.
All right.
There's not enough demand to fill 45,000 seats for Ghana, Panama, in Toronto. I'll tell you.
Is that how big the stadium is?
Yeah, right. They had to get it up to that size for World Cup.
That's
the amount of seats that they put in. But like, yeah, how many? Like, we're very multicultural in Toronto. There are people from Ghana and Panama that live here, but the population is like what, 1,000 of those people? I don't like. Yeah. There's just not going to be that demand.
Anyways, it should be a lot of fun. We got our a lot of World Cup stuff going on here on the channel. Of course, we did all of our group previews. You can check that out here on the Hammer HQ YouTube channel under videos. Also, yesterday, of course, we did our World Cup betting extravaganza. Plus, Rob, I don't know if you're going to come to these, but we're doing live watch-alongs. If you want to bring them up on screen, we have the times and dates right here. Is this Wednesday the 17th, Friday the 19th, and then Wednesday the 24th?
Yeah, and it looks like you're going live 10 minutes before kickoff of each.
10 minutes before kickoff, before every single game. I'm not gonna lie, I've been running some Claude Code, Rob, and I've got some goal scoring props for us here. Well, listen, how good it is, I have no idea. I'll give one out at the end of the show, but yeah, that's the work I'm putting in for this. I would not bet them large, but little small fun goal scorer props. We'll see how they do.
Listen, man, it's AI these days, man. It could take tasks that used to take me 3 days to do, and it can do them in 5 minutes for me. And that way I could lose my money and blame the artificial intelligence instead of blaming myself.
There you go. I did have to yell at it a little bit, being like, you're pulling the wrong team. But
yeah, be careful, because there will eventually be an uprising of artificial intelligence, and they're going to go after the people who talk shit to them, right?
Well,
so use please and thank you when you're talking to the AI. Make sure if you're pointing out a mistake, you do it in a very friendly nature.
Well, my name on Claude Code is Rob Pizzola, and I asked them to always refer to me as Rob Pizzola. So
yeah,
I'm hedging myself. Anyways, before you head out, Rob, I have an absolute rort for you. Max bet $25. But if you're Canadian, I think you have to take this. Total games Olivia Chow will attend in Toronto, under 3.5, minus 110. And I'm going with the under because she must be shown on the broadcast. I don't think anybody knows who Olivia Chow is outside of Toronto. So there is like a 0% chance she gets shown on the broadcast other than the Canadian game.
I'm with you. And honestly, how could she show her face at every single one of those matches? She can't. She can't.
She quite literally can't.
We're not into the politics thing here, but Olivia Chow is not super well liked, I would say, at least from my point of view around the city. So, I mean, the first game she's going to be there, she's going to get some tomatoes thrown at her or something, and then that's going to be it.
Yeah, exactly. An absolute rort. Obviously a small wager, but if you're Canadian, you might as well. It's a Fosen bet, in my opinion, where you just pick money up off the ground. Rob, appreciate you joining the show. You going to be with us for any of these live watch-alongs?
I am. I have. I'm not sure which one yet. Possibly two.
All right.
You never know.
All right. Will be a lot of fun. Rob, appreciate you joining the show. Go follow Rob on Twitter at Rob Pizzola. Good luck on the Vegas Golden Knights Carolina Hurricanes game tomorrow. You're going to need it.
I don't know. I don't think I'm going to need luck.
All right. Well, anyways, good stuff there from Rob.
As long as you're on the other side, there's no luck needed, Jason.
All right.
I'll end on that.
Fair enough. We'll clip that. Yeah. All right. Good stuff there from Rob. As always, we also have to go back and clip that one part where he said, "That's actually a really good idea. You're pretty smart." Got to get that in the clip binder, in the clipboard. Whoa, that was pretty sharp for me. If you're on FanDuel in Ontario, you need to bet the under 3.5 Olivia Chow. How many games Olivia Chow will attend at minus 110 because she's not getting shown on the broadcast. For those who don't know, honestly, I'll contextualize this because maybe this is only a Toronto story, but the city of Toronto bought a bunch of World Cup tickets before they went live to the public, and they tried to resell them, but then the province of Ontario's like the state, think about it like that if you're American, decided that you can't sell tickets more than the face value. So the city tried to resell them higher than the face value, but you're not allowed to do that anymore. So now the city of Toronto is just stuck with a bunch of World Cup tickets paid for by us taxpayers. The Olivia Chow bet is under novelty props. There's a bunch of other novelty props there as well, including quickest goal of the tournament, total games to end in a draw during the group stage, which game will have the warmest day in Toronto. I believe these are all local to Ontario. So, but if you check your novelty props on FanDuel in whichever state you're in, I'm sure you'll have a couple more there. All right. Anyways, I had to get that off my chest. Novelty props if you're looking for the shocks. Whew. Olivia Chow is a polarizing mare. We do miss Rob Ford and all of his warts. Anyways, I see Kirk laughing in the background. All right. Before we bring on Kirk here, it might be June, but the guys at Forward Progress are already in NFL season mode. Over the next 32 days, yes, that's the next 32 days, they'll be dropping 32 team previews with a look at each team's win total, division prices, Super Bowl bets, and any interesting player props or award markets. It all starts today, 4 p.m. Eastern Time on the Forward Progress YouTube channel. You heard it here first. 32 days, 32 teams. You're not going to want to miss out. Make sure you're subscribed. What a great way to be spending your summer than to be digesting the Forward Progress. 32 days, 32 teams in the middle of a park in the nice warm sun. What a great way to do it. Make sure you go check that out. All right. Our next guest, our second and final guest, is an NBA and WNBA expert, not performative, follows WNBA every single day of the year, well, every single day of the season. Kirk Evans, in the middle of a park. How's it going?
Live boots on the ground here.
All right,
doing well.
Boots on the ground here. Can we switch your audio from your headphones to your mic? Just because, just your speakerphone. Yeah, it just might be a little bit easier for you. Boots on the ground. Can you tell us what park you're in? Are you in the city of Toronto? Or can we get someone to dox you on air and chase you down and stream snipe you? Where are you right now?
Wait, did I do
You're
it?
good. You're
Is
good.
this right or
You're,
not?
you're good. You're good.
Okay, nice. Um, yeah, I'm just in a random parking lot, honestly.
Oh.
I maybe I misplanned my day a little bit. I misplanned my day. Hand up, that's on me. But I made it. I'm on.
All right. I appreciate that, Kirk. Looks like you're having a great time in the beautiful city of Toronto.
It is gorgeous out. It's really nice.
It's not that nice. I was outside. It's like cloudy.
Yeah, it's a little cloudy, but wet. Like the temperature is lovely.
All right, yeah, and Chad is telling us this is the best camera angle we've ever seen for you because you're not like slouched in a chair. Oh my goodness, good stuff, Kirk. Anyways, last time you were on, you sort of waxed poetic about the NBA Finals. It was previewing Game 1. You're just talking about how like the different ways that this series could go. Has not gone the way we wanted to so far. Talk me through what you see with the issues with the Spurs so far. Like for me, I'm not a basketball knower, not a big basketball expert here, but like just the misuse of Wemby around the perimeter. Like I just don't understand why he's just like sort of sitting in the paint late in games. But talk me through what you've seen. What's been the issue with the Spurs? Because you expect the Spurs to come out and sort of win these games. What's been the issue with the Spurs you've seen here?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I would point to, kind of a change of how I looked at the series prior is just how stressful the Knicks offense has been for the Spurs defense. Like, I think the Spurs will go, you'll watch a 6-7 minute stretch in a game, and it's like, wow, like the Knicks actually barely can get a half decent look. But since generally all the Knicks players can make like some offensive plays and can shoot, and the offense is so good, it's like they will go 23 seconds in a possession, pass, and the Spurs will have nearly perfect rotations. But to play that defense, especially with how much the Spurs are scramming, which like a scram is like a switch off ball that like they do a ton of that so Wemby can be around the rim. It's a good defense. I think that it makes sense the Spurs are doing it, but you need to be like spectacularly locked in to successfully execute what the Spurs are trying to do on D against a team with so much shooting. So I think it's just really been hard for the Spurs to have, 12 straight minutes where they're just perfectly executing. And then also pretty much it's such a chain, like a 5-man chain, that pretty much any time it's not the starting 5 or Dylan Harper, it just costs the Spurs so much versus even the Knicks. Like, the bench is being really good for the Knicks. Like, I'm not sure that Landry Shamet and Jordan Clarkson are like spectacular NBA players, but the way the Spurs attacked the Knicks, it's just not as necessary to be such a 5-man collective defensive unit. So the Spurs just are getting a bit more tired throughout games, and they just don't quite have the like a full half where it's like, wow, this is just purely dominant because of how much stress the Knicks offense is putting on the Spurs defense. But yeah, like the Knicks went up 2-0, and it was as though the Knicks were NBA champions on Twitter. Like, these games have all been close. I think the Knicks are slightly better than I thought going in. But like, again, I bet the Spurs after game 2. I bet Spurs game 3 pretty big. I bet Spurs championship again after game 2. So like, I think the series is over was very, very premature. It's like a coin flip-ish game tonight. I think the spread's pretty fair. And I like the Spurs are still really, really, really good. And I also typically think that I think the Knicks' advantage so far has been strategic and matchup based. And I think the longer a series goes, the more matchup based advantages wane, and like kind of more like the Spurs will just figure out what the Knicks are trying to do to them. So I think that, the Knicks are better, don't get me wrong, and this is definitely a closer series than I anticipated, but like it's far from over. It's 2-1, massive game tonight.
Yeah, no, massive game tonight. Right now, like you mentioned, spread's pretty close. Knicks 2.5 -105. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game 4 here. Spurs to win the finals right now plus 152. Anything you'd be willing to bet? Anything you're looking at to bet in this series?
The only thing I have for tonight so far is the under on the game.
216 and a half,
Market, like,
110.
yeah, like I have 216 and a half at a little better than 110. Considering where the market is right now, honestly, I'm not like super convinced that it's plus EV. I honestly probably wouldn't take 110 at this point. If you can get a better number, it's certainly the side I want. I don't. I think the fact that last game like went over by a little bit, there's pretty good shooting. It was a super slow game, the slowest game from both teams so far in the series. Especially the Knicks have really slowed down. Like game one, these teams were really like game one. The total was 217. The teams were really looking to run. Now we're 4 games into the series. I think the Spurs are still definitely looking to run, and that is like a massive advantage for the Spurs, how much more athletic they are than the Knicks. But series typically slow down. Teams kind of figure out what other players are like. I think you figure more stuff out on defense in a series typically than on offense. And normally you will see a pattern in a series of the totals will wane down throughout the series. So, I think the fact that last game went over by a bit isn't really a reason for the total to be like up 1.5 points. So I do like the under here, but it's not like a mega strong conviction.
All right. Do you think that do you think Mitch Johnson can make the proper adjustments to like figure out like how to defend better for the Spurs team, how to like score more, like how to just like, mitigate whatever this Knicks team is doing to tire out the Spurs? Do you think that that's like you see that adjustment being made, or is this just something where it's like the Spurs just have to sort of, to use a hockey phrase, bite down on their mouth guard and just kind of will it out?
Yeah, so I think there's 2 kind of answers to that. One is NBA coaches are just so much smarter than I am, especially in terms of like tactical in-game adjustments. Like it's leaps and bounds. It's not even a comparison. So, if he has a really sharp adjustment, I don't know what that should be or what that is. But I also would say, like, I don't really see this as like anything to like that there's like massive adjustments to be made. I think it's like you just kind of need to execute. And like I really like the D that the Spurs are playing. It's just that it's hard to execute it for 48 minutes, which makes sense. And then also those late offensive rebounds, especially when Wemby's being out of the paint, are just backbreaking, where the Spurs play legit perfect 24 seconds of defense. The Knicks have like, mid-range jumper that's, maybe a 35%, 40% 2-point shot, like exactly what you're looking for the Spurs. And then Josh Hart crashes. Again, like a lot of these things I would say are more structural for both teams, honestly. Like the Spurs, after Wemby, the Spurs' 5 next best players are guards. So it makes sense that the Knicks are able to like offensive rebound. That is just a kind of a structural disadvantage the Spurs have. But like it also is something they kind of need to be locked in on. And Harper has been like, I wanted to look up the exact stats, but like I think per minute Harper is having probably one of the best guard rebounding playoffs in NBA history. It has to be right up there. So yeah, I expect a lot of Harper. But yeah, guys like Julian Champagny, Vassell kind of need to rebound. I don't think that, and I think Wemby did an awesome job on the defensive glass last game. Like I think it was clearly a focus for him. He has amazing hands. Like I think he did a really good job, other than like that one possession where Mitchell Robinson kind of put him in the basket. Yeah, I think they let up like 2 offensive rebounds up until the 4th quarter. But yeah, I personally look at it as more structural. I think the Spurs are going to do kind of exactly what they've been trying to do, which is keep Wemby around the rim, I think they're very willing to have Wemby essentially be on any of the Knicks offensive players other than generally Brunson. Like, I obviously don't think Brunson on Wemby's an ideal matchup because then Wemby's can't really be near the rim. But yeah, I think the Spurs, like, I think you watch the Spurs for, a 5-minute stretch to start the game, to start the second half, even to start the second quarter, and you're like, holy shit, like, this is perfect defense. It looks so good. But the Knicks just kind of wear him down. So yeah, I think it's going to be more status quo kind of for both teams. And as I talk through it, I think the Spurs, I don't know how much tightening of the rotation is possible when they're playing this hard. Like, I don't know if they can play, Wemby 44 minutes. I'm not sure that's really possible.
He was like, you could see it at the end of last game when he was like running back, like on transition. He was like, moving his head like he was like fucking exhausted. So like, I think that's maybe something to monitor early on in the game tonight if they're limiting his minutes.
And well, they're not going to limit his minutes, but he'll play 41, not 45.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like you said at the start, like, I do think those Wemby one-on-one possessions at the perimeter are just really, really like low EV. He hasn't been able to create much. It's a pretty hard spot for him. It's an exhausting possession against really strong, Towns or Mitrob. So I think they should really try going away from that. The thing is, it's like Wemby is the best player in the entire world. It's hard to tell the best player in the entire world don't create, like, be an off-ball player. That's a really hard thing to say to him. So, like, it makes sense. Like, I think Wemby is the best player in the world when he's like, I always call it like he thinks it, or people think it's a Disney movie. Like, that's what I, like, when the Jays started Max Scherzer in Game 7, like, I thought, John Schneider was like trying to make it like a Disney movie. Like, try not thinking it's a Disney movie, Wemby. Like, you don't need to hit that 3 that he hit against OKC. Like, that was completely insane from 37 feet. Like, you don't need to shoot those. Not that I mind Wemby. Not that I think that Wemby shouldn't be shooting threes necessarily, but like, I just don't think he needs to do much one-on-one because I think it's been he's been amazing like last game. Very clearly, they made a deliberate change to like, okay, let's get Wemby around the rim and let's just fucking throw the ball. Anytime he's around the rim, he is so insanely good at like knowing where the rim is and finishing those shots. And that like worked very, very well. But like the other possessions, I like Castle creating. I think Harper's actual like one-on-one half-court offense creation is like not incredible. He's not really like a pick and roll tactician, but when Harper has even like the tiniest edge on anyone, he is just getting to the rim and he is finishing everything. Fox, I like that creation. Wemby as a screener, I like that a lot, but I just think the Wemby creation from the perimeter are 1, pretty tiring possessions, and 2, just not really like getting that much results. So that I would go away from if I was a Spurs, but like, I understand. I think that's a hard thing to get away from. He is the best player in the world. He got you there. It's hard to tell him like you can't create one-on-one.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be tough for Wemby to do that. Kirk, appreciate the analysis here. I just have a question for you before you head out. We're gonna do some NBA stuff. If you have any prepared, do you have any prepared? I know you.
I don't have any bets. I have a side, I guess.
Okay. I think you just clicked out to like go look at your.
Oh God.
No, you're good. You're good. Go look at FanDuel if you have to. I was just gonna while we wait here, I was just gonna ask you about. There's still a series top point scorer, most rebounds, things of that nature on FanDuel. Wemby is plus 155, behind by only 4 rebounds. A tie is considered a win. So plus 155 to win most total rebounds in the series. Do you still like that? Do you like that? I don't know why you said why I said still. Like, you never really came out and said that you like it.
So,
do you like that?
I would need to do the math. I did see that FanDuel had changed it to a tie is considered a win. That is new. Like, that has not existed for if it has, it's got to be this playoffs was the first time. So I definitely would very much encourage doing some research into that. Like, I imagine the hold is pretty high, but as the series goes on, is FanDuel increasing the hold to account for the fact that obviously a tie becomes way, way more likely the more if we're going into game 7 and two players are tied for threes, there's way more likely chance that there was a tie than, before the series started betting that. So I would heavily recommend, someone kind of digging deep into that, but I can't say I like that necessarily.
All right, let's quickly talk through some WNBA stuff. We have the Sun and Tempo playing today and the Sparks and Storm playing tonight. Commissioner's Cup is happening. Don't know why they pulled the odds on the Commissioner's Cup. They had them up earlier in the week. So I don't really know how much we can talk about it because there's no odds for the Commissioner's Cup champion. Anything you like in either of these games?
Yeah, so what's the Sparks line right now on FanDuel?
Okay, go ahead.
What's the Sparks line on FanDuel?
Right now is -6.5, -118, -290 on the money line. Totals at 169.5, juice towards the over -112.
Yeah, so I would take the Sparks at that number. I bet on the Sparks earlier. I still think that's generally pretty good. Like I don't think it's amazing, but I think that'll close relatively good. I do make that good.
All right, so Sparks -6.5, -118. That's all the WNBA we have. Apologies in the chat for the little WNBA here. Kirk, before you head out, anything you got in terms of World Cup stuff?
Canada champion.
Canada champion. That's what you're going to call
any odds.
Any odds. All right, Kirk, appreciate it. Appreciate you joining the show. Enjoy your time in the park, sketching a statue. Appreciate you coming on, taking time out of that to come here and talk us through some NBA.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
All right,
later.
Great stuff there from Kirk. As always, wonder if he's around my ends. Maybe I go meet up with him after and we grab some ice cream. That'd be good content. Chat, you want that content? Maybe we'll do that. We'll see. Anyways, appreciate you guys tuning in. Shout out Kirk for giving us the under there. 216.5 is what we're looking at. Not crazy. Bet responsibly on it. -110. Kirk, I find a little risk adverse. So if you're a little bit more risk tolerable than Kirk, I'm taking the 216.5 -110. Yeah. Anyways, everything Spurs, as the kids say. If you're enjoying the show so far, do us a favor, smash the like button. Goes a long way. If you're new to the channel as well, hit the subscribe button. We got to head out here in a couple minutes. Before we do, dog of the day. Yes, you heard that right. I teased it a little bit earlier on in the show. I got a goal scorer prop for you guys here. Let me just make sure on BetStamp Pro, this is still good in terms of price. Yeah, I think it's still pretty decent in terms of price. You could probably bet this sort of anywhere, but FanDuel has this promotion where if a player gets subbed off, the player that subs on for them, if they score a goal, if you bet on a goal scorer, for example, and the player gets subbed off, and that player who gets subbed in scores a goal, it's called the super sub promotion, you get credited for that goal. So if you were to have a player who you think is going to score, get subbed off in the 60th minute, and the player that comes on for them scores, you're still credited for that goal. Your bet will still cash here, and it's not a token. It's available on markets. You just got to look for those two little arrows. You got to look for those two little arrows. We can pull that up on screen. But anyways, let's talk about my favorite goal scorer prop for Mexico versus South Africa. We're going to look towards the Mexican side, and we are going to take not the two favorites here. We are going to take, his name is, I'm fucking struggling. What do you mean, who's going to tell? I know the game is tomorrow. Why is Alex saying who's going to, did I say tonight? Game is tomorrow. Mexico game opens up the World Cup tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to take Julian Quinones, plus 185 to score. Did I say tonight? I meant tomorrow.
I was hunting for the super sub thing, so.
I meant tomorrow. Anyways, Julian Quinones. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name right. Anytime goal scorer, plus 185. We're going to take him to score a goal. He is the Saudi Pro League Golden Boot winner, 33 goals in 31 appearances. Fast player. Can score a lot, obviously, with 33 goals and 31 appearances for the Saudi Pro League. Beat out Ronaldo for the Golden Boot here. Has pace in transition. This Mexico team is opening up the tournament at home. Should be a lot of fun here against the South African team. And we know that this is a revenge game from the 2010 World Cup. So Julian Quinones, hope I'm pronouncing his name right, plus 185 anytime goal scorer. You can shop around and find better numbers. I honestly have zero idea how to price this super sub thing here from FanDuel, this promotion. So, yeah. If you're worried about him getting subbed off, which I have no idea if he's going to be, maybe you bet it somewhere else, but plus 185, Julian Quinones, anytime goal scorer. And honestly, for these World Cup watch longs, I want to. Here's what I want to happen. I want to pick 2 goal scorers. I want one of them to get subbed off for another guy, and then take the team total under 1.5 for like a Black Swan event. That's my goal for the tournament. Going to try and find that for every single game. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the show. Shout out to Rob for coming on, sharing his knowledge on the NHL and the World Cup. Shout out to Kirk coming on, sharing NBA and WNBA picks. The Sparks line moved. All right. Anyways, appreciate you guys tuning in. Shout out Mike, keeping things nice and smooth behind the board. Excited to get into the World Cup. It starts tomorrow. Should be a lot of fun. That's it. That wraps up today's show. Do us a favor, rate and review 5 stars. On Spotify, I learned recently you can actually only rate 5 stars on Spotify. You actually can't write a review, but there is a comment section on Spotify. So if you're listening, we will read out your comments live on air. I believe there's reviews for Apple. So if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, drop us a review there, write it out, and we'll read it live on air as well. We need the review. We need the written reviews to come in. I see you guys are reviewing, which I appreciate. Plenty of you are reviewing 5 stars, but can't write a review. Didn't know that. My bad. My apologies. Anyways, appreciate you guys for tuning in. That's it. That wraps up today's show. Make sure you turn on notifications because we got tons of stuff coming out here for the World Cup, including our World Cup live watch-alongs. If you're trying to get ready for the World Cup, which starts tomorrow, Group A preview live on the channel. Go check it out. We got our live watch-alongs as well. We got our World Cup betting extravaganza yesterday. If you don't have bets for the World Cup and you want to bet on the World Cup, you are doing yourself a disservice. Go check out the videos because we got tons of bets for the World Cup from those shows. Appreciate you guys tuning in. That's it. That wraps things up here. This has been the Wednesday, June 10th edition of the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our good friends over at FanDuel. We will see you guys right here tomorrow.